Hi, my name is Cormac Brennan. I'm a professional voice actor, and as a voice actor, I have certainly been guilty of my fair share of bad performances.
Oh, okay. Message received.
Want to hear another song? I call this one Wonderwall. To understand the root of the Israel-Palestine conflict, we have to look back a few thousand years ago. And I know that acting is very subjective and a somewhat amorphous and difficult art form to judge, requiring a lot of subtlety and nuance in its critique, but come on, when it's bad, it's bad. That's why I want to cover my ass. You know, I'll deliver some more subpar performances throughout my career, it's just a part of the job, but it's not entirely always my fault. There are plenty of factors that go into a voice actor's performance and its perceived quality in the final product beyond just what the voice actor does. You have the direction, the script, and the medium. To explain all these factors and how they can affect a voice actor's performance, I'll be breaking down a scene from the animated Witcher film Sirens of the Deep. This is my defense of bad voice acting.
You call that acting?
That was genuinely
terrible.
Awful.
That was awful.
To get it out of the way, I was not a fan of this film. In fact, I kind of think that it butchered my favorite short story from the Witcherverse, so that kind of annoyed me. But setting that aside, despite having some quality voice actors and just actors in the cast, I found some of the performances to just be kind of meh. And there's one scene in particular that I think really frustrated me, but also showcases how it's not always the voice actor's fault if the voice acting isn't perfect. Here's the scene, and spoilers because this is during the climax of the film, but I'd recommend just reading the short story instead. Anyway, here it is.
Why are you doing this? I stood up for you!
Okay, so what was wrong with that? Well, I just thought it was kind of flat. You didn't get the sense that this character was delivering that line in the clutches of a giant tentacle. Now, you could easily jump the gun and blame the actor, but before you do, let's look at what factors are involved in a voice actor's performance. Standing in a Hall of Fame! Ooh. First, of course, is the script, the lines that the voice actor are given to read. The line our actor was given is, "Why are you doing this? I stood up for you." Okay, that's not a terrible, but in context, it's a little lackluster. For a bit of context, the character, the mermaid, is questioning her aunt, who she thought was the only person on her side, but it turns out was just manipulating her the entire time, and set her up for a grand betrayal. And also, her aunt just turned into a giant tentacle monster and ate her mom. So, you're gonna say,
Why are you doing this? I stood up for you!
I'm not buying it. Overall, the script falls a bit short here. You know, the actor wasn't really given much to work with. They couldn't stretch their, voice acting performance legs. Or in this case, tail. The next variable is direction. Baby, you light up my world like nobody. Now, direction is exceptionally important in all of acting, but in voice acting in particular. A voice actor doesn't have the luxuries that a stage or screen actor has. There's no set, oftentimes there's no scene partner, and they just have a mic, a vocal booth, and maybe a director or an engineer and some other people in the studio to help them bring out the right performance. Ultimately, though, the director has the final say on how the actor should deliver the line and which take is used in the final cut. Looking at this scene, I don't think the voice actor was given the right direction. It doesn't seem like they were told, all right, your aunt, who you thought was helping you this whole time, was actually manipulating you for her own gain, and now, because of her, your nation is at war with your lovers, and it's escalated into a deadly conflict. You're watching as soldiers fighting in your name die around you, and your aunt, who just turned into a giant kraken tentacle monster, just ate your mom right in front of you, and she's about to eat you. Now, go!
Why are you doing this? I stood up for you!
That just doesn't seem like a performance informed by the right kind of direction. But maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe the director couldn't give that direction because of the final factor, the medium.
I'm sensing someone here with us right now. Did you have a man in your life?
An animation medium can heavily influence a voice actor's performance and the emotional range that they can realistically portray through the character that they're acting as. Think about the difference between an anime and Paw Patrol. Very different material, but also very different mediums. Nothing against Paw Patrol, but these motherfuckers don't have this kind of emotional range. Looking at the animation style of The Witcher Sirens of the Deep, it is a bit restrictive, which is why I'm not actually that big of a fan of it, to be honest. I had a similar issue with Castlevania. The animation is beautiful, and if you take a still frame, it looks gorgeous, but it feels very rigid and constrictive in motion. To demonstrate why this has such a big effect on a voice actor's performance, I will pretend to be an animated character and perform the same voice-acted line in 2 different ways, freely and restricted. Yeah, I'm angry. I just don't get it. Okay? I thought things were going really well, and now, out of nowhere, you just want to end it. Yeah, I'm angry. I just don't get it. Okay? I thought things were going really well, and now, out of nowhere, you just want to end it. See how the exact same line and performance can be so much better or worse depending on how the character says it? Not how the voice actor says it, but how the character says it. That's a big problem with The Witcher Sirens of the Deep. I'm just not sure if the animation style is suitable for an emotionally appropriate performance for this scene, which would change how the director has to direct and how the voice actor has to act. Hopefully by now you have a better understanding of what factors can influence a voice actor's performance and why bad voice acting isn't always our fault. So keep this in mind, please. If I ever give a bad performance, remember, it isn't my fault. It's everyone else's. If you enjoyed this, please let me know and subscribe. I'm going to try to get some more long-form content out. But in the meantime, I do post every Monday, Wednesday, Friday on my Instagram and TikTok, which you can find on my channel page. Thank you so much for watching, and have a nice day.